Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you my mercenary build. This is the way that I play the mercenary. It is not, you don't get 120 kills per round or anything, but it's very fun and it's very sustainable. It's a lot tankier than you would think it is, and I quite enjoy it. Basically, how I play it, this is all built around the thrown weapons and using your ghost tools. So basically the way that I have it set up is so that you can use your Affliction Caltrops as often as possible, which basically means you're poisoning enemies, you're weakening enemies, and then you are able to use your thrown weapons also as soon as possible, the class ability that allows you to throw your weapon. And then when you throw that weapon, this weapon explodes and then does damage to enemies. And then that helps you build spirit, or that helps you get spirit. You gain more ultimate. Then when you use your ultimate, that disarms enemies, which then you can use those weapons to throw at them. And then also when you use your ultimate, it resets the cooldown of your ghost tool, so then you can use your caltrops again. And then basically that's the loop, because then when the enemies are in the caltrops, you can use your bombs on them, which allows you to build spirit. So it just kind of goes on and on like that. And I quite enjoy it. It's pretty fun. And so let's get into what the build actually looks like. Okay, so for the ultimate, we have Takenikasushi's Smite. That's quite the name. This is basically just you do a big old explosion, you disarm a bunch of enemies, and you knock them back. It's pretty great. You can't really change that. For the class ability, we go with Spirit Throw for this build because, again, this build is going to be working around Spirit Throw and Ghost Tools. So this is a must. Spirit Animal is pretty fun too, but not for this build. Now, for the first perk, we go with ability cooldown because we want to be able to throw weapons as much as possible. Enhanced Impalement would work as well, just because you do more damage. So that's up to you. You can either throw more weapons or have the ones that you throw do more damage. For the second perk, we have Spirit Shatter, because it weakens enemies and it explodes and damages the ones that are next to them. So it has like a small AoE effect. And then the other two aren't really worth it for this build. And then for perk 3, we have Energizing Smite, which refunds cooldown, or it actually makes the cooldown of your ghost tools and your class ability be a lot lower or go down a lot faster, which is great because, again, we want to be able to use our throw and our ghost weapons as much as possible. Okay, so as far as the gear, I'm going to have on screen here every piece of gear with every property and every perk. If it's easier, you can take a screenshot and you can use that to follow the build. If not, I'm gonna go over what each weapon does, why I picked that, and then after I'm gonna have a small video showing actual gameplay. So starting with the katana, and I actually did all melee damage on all the melee weapons. So with the katana, we have all melee damage, class ability cooldown reduction, because the main two things that we're doing with this build is having very low cooldown reduction, and we're having damage to thrown weapons. So that's what we want to do. We want to be able to basically use the class ability, which is the one where you throw a weapon, as often as possible, and when we use it, we want it to do a lot of damage. So that's the katana. On the dual katana, we have all melee damage and thrown weapon damage, and I'm actually going to change this to dual katana damage because when I play this build, the mercenary with this build, I usually never really change from dual katana, so it just makes sense. On the perk, we have dual tempest strikes, which basically makes it so that you can use your like an enhanced version of the combo that where you hold triangle and then tap it repeatedly. On the katana and the odachi, I have expert combo, which just makes that same combo longer. So on the odachi, we have all melee damage and we have thrown weapon damage. On the first legendary that we're using is the Vengeful Onibi Bomb, and here we have bomb radius so that when I throw the bombs, they hit the largest area possible. And then we have thrown weapon damage. As far as the perk, we have Scorch Bombs, which is the fire bombs. Just because I like them way better than Spirited. I do use Spirit moves quite a bit in this with this build, but I think 3 points is more than enough. Then on the charm, we have Spirit Gain for when we need to use Spirit moves. We have thrown weapon damage and we have Scavenger so that ammo pickups give us more bombs. On the Kunai, we have Ghost Tools cooldown reduction and class ability cooldown reduction. I like to be able to use the kunai as often as possible, so that's why we have this here. And then the hidden blades gives us 4 extra kunai that we can throw. And then lastly, we have our second legendary of the build, which is the Affliction Caltrops. I love these. And then we have Ghost Tools cooldown reduction, class ability cooldown reduction, and deep bags. What deep bags does is it allows you to put down more caltrops. You can do it 3 times in a row. And because of the way that the build is set up, you can actually use caltrops very often. Like you can pretty much the whole time that you're playing, you can be using your caltrops. So now we're gonna see a bit of gameplay and how it actually works. Okay, so here I am in a solo platinum survival, and so we use our class ability right there, we summon our weapon, shoot this guy, then we can get a couple bombs going. This will soften these guys and give us some spirit. We throw the caltrops. I love these freaking caltrops because they do that right there. See how there's already a bunch of people down? You can come in here, you can crit them, you can shoot them from afar, you can use kunai. So I love these caltrops. You can use bombs as well. And then they're all, even though I use the 3 all in a row, they're already back up. See the cooldown is quite low. Then we have spirit too, so that allows you to use spirit weapons, and that's it. That's, that phase is cleared. So this is kind of the loop of what I do. I use caltrops, I throw weapons, I use my bombs, and that's what this build allows you to do. So let's go here, let's get this range lady. There we go. Throw some more caltrops down here. Boom, boom, boom. This one's dead. And these guys are already down because of the caltrops. Ultimate is up. We can use our ultimate, which then makes a bunch of weapons available because you disarm the enemies. And then you have the extra damage in thrown weapons. And there you go. That's another 2. And that's pretty much it. That is the loop of this build. It's a build that I quite enjoy. Has pretty much everything I like in this game, and it's just, I don't know, I really enjoy playing the Mercenary. It's I like that it feels different to play than the other classes, so that makes it fun. Ooh, that lady almost got me. Alright, get some caltrops going. Let's get some bombs going. That guy's down over there. Oh, that archer. So let's go get that archer. Or that rifle lady. There we go. And then that's it. That's, you know, you clear platinum wave. I mean, obviously it's the first wave, it's pretty easy, but that is what the build looks like. Now, I think that's it for this video tonight. If this was helpful in any way, please consider subscribing to my channel. I will be uploading a lot of gaming content, not just for Legends, but for many other games. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.